Alright, if you watch our previous video, I actually did a comprehensive video on how you can incubate your eggs. Now take note that incubation have different ways. Every farmer has what works for them. There is no um, best way. Let me use that word. There's no best way. Use what works for you. The most important part is the result. If you're getting result from what you're doing, keep doing it. There's no point changing hands if what you're doing is working right. And so when we come into this incubation part of it, every farmer has their own way of doing it. Some persons uses a pen. They can just decide to sacrifice a pen for incubation. When they sort off their egg, they take it to their pen, dig the pen, dig the hole, put the eggs, cover it, tag it with the date and numbers of egg in that very pot, and to calculate the number of days, the expected days where they need to go back to sort for babies. It works. Some persons do the plantain leaves. They cover the plantain leaf off and on, and it also works for them. We are not against your style. If it's working for you, very okay. But here we practice the disposable plate here. That's what we use at Raw Vision Snail Farm. It's working for us, so we don't have reasons to start testing other means. And also, I'll be doing a little practical so that you can also see what we do and how we do it. This is what we use here. Normally, we always tag the date and the number of egg in each of them. So far, the maximum that we put in each plate is 25 egg. That's what we choose to put. There is no law that says it has to be 25, or it has to be 50, or it has to be 10. That's our choice. And so we put 25 eggs every time we want to incubate, and so we can calculate how many babies we're expecting at each timing. Okay, and so now the first thing you need to do is to introduce sand into the incubator. When you want to incubate your egg, the first part, like I said, this is what we use. The first part is to get a plate ready. To get a plate ready. You can see it's not dry sand and it's not wet sand. It's just an okay sand. Little water, and then you are good to go. Now, you first of all to get this ready. This is where I see most farmers also get it wrong, where they have more unhatched eggs than hatched eggs. After getting this ready like this, before you sort the eggs from the pen, now as you are picking the eggs from the pen, you are bringing them directly into where you have prepared. You bring the eggs directly to where you have prepared, and then you cover up. You cover up completely. You cover up the eggs completely. Cover up the eggs completely. You are not exposing any part of the eggs to air again. When it's covered, we seal. This is what we do. And then we'll tag the numbers of eggs, the date this is done, and then we'll put in a cool place. We'll wait for 21 days and these babies will start coming out. Some it comes out before the 21st day because of the coolness and the perfection. Now, if you pick your eggs, that is, if you sort your eggs, you pick them from the pen, you keep them in a bowl. Now, some persons will pick the eggs from the pen and put them in a plate before taking them to the incubation. Maybe taking them to the incubating pen or putting them in their plate or whatever means they are using to do the incubation. Sometimes, I'm not saying your eggs will not hatch, but the hatch rate is reduced. If you're just taking it from where the snail laid it to where you are incubating it and cover up, you have more hatch rate. You can try it with whatever method you are using. Instead of taking it from where the snail laid it to another place before that, just take it from where it was laid to the exact place where you want to incubate it, and check the difference between what you've been doing and what you will get from this result. And when you do that, your babies will start really springing out. And now take note here that when the egg is hatched, don't help the baby snails to break off the shell. They need that shell, the caviar itself, the shell, the snail shell, the egg shell, for their perfect growing. All the minerals that they need is inside the shell, so they will first of all eat off their shell before they'll come out to life. Now, considering that the babies are not like the parents, this means that you also have to take care of the babies specially. Your babies' needs are your profit, remember. And so if you're not taking extra care to care for them, then you're losing the profit in the business. Okay? And so if you have a big farm, and let's say you incubate 500, 1,000 eggs, 2,000 eggs, if they are hatching, some might hatch tomorrow, today, next week, another. They're hatching so close. You can actually pack your baby snails and put them in a big place, in a big pen, give them feed, increase the plate and the way you feed, and they will all have access to it. But if you are a small farmer, or you are a big farmer but the eggs you are hatching are not much at that time, what I advise people most times to do is this: put the babies in a small container, This place can take 10 baby snails, 10, 15 baby snails. Now, the reason why I suggest or advise this is that if your babies are in this tiny place, this little bowl, remember you cover with net, all right? You cover with net for ventilation. Now, if your babies are in this tiny plate, if your feed is inside, all the babies will have access to the food because they all need food to grow. Now, when they stay in this pen for a week, 2 weeks, you can then move them to your nursery pen. You can even let some stay up to a month depending on how they are growing, because you'll be sorting your babies according to sizes as well. So you put them in a little bowl for a few days, few weeks before you take them off to your nursery pen. And please don't put 10 babies, 20 babies in a big pen. Some will just climb to one end and hang there. Some will just dug and hid themselves inside. And you keep saying your snails are not eating, your snails are not eating. Fine, they won't eat because they're actually busy waiting for food to come. And so we've also got that from experience. You can try that out and you'll see the difference. Just make the little bowl look like the whole pen. Put sand, put some leaves, put your feed, put your water. Make it look like the big pen. Will have access to food, have access to water, heat themselves in their beddings, and the snails will start doing well as well. I hope this also helped. If it does help, you can drop a comment below. You can also contribute. You can question the opinion. You can suggest. We are open to learning. So if you want to make it in this world, you have to learn, relearn, and unlearn. You keep learning. Learning has no Superman. So feel free to always comment with your opinions, your contributions, and we will do that. If you have direct questions as well, you can also drop it below. In you never can tell, we'll also answer your question in the next video.